4:30, yeah. Roll call.
30.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Bunting.
Here.
Commissioner Gay.
Here.
Commissioner Sapsy.
Here.
Commissioner Owens.
Here. George, we get you to pray for us?
Bow your heads, please. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the day that you've given to us and the blessings. We ask, Father, that you continually to watch over our servicemen and women abroad and at home and give them blessings. Also, Father, our first responders, that you would put blessings upon them. We want to praise you, Father, for the rain that we've been getting. It does help make up the shortfall that we've had. I'm going to ask you, I'm particular, Father, just slow it up a little bit so harvest can continue, but it'll be fine. It's been a good harvest so far. We ask, Father, you be with us tonight for our deliberations, that we would do the things that were pleasing to the folks of Gratiot County. For it's the name we pray, amen.
Amen. Join us for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Additions or deletions to the agenda?
The agenda is presented. Support.
Can we have a discussion?
Oh, sorry.
Do we want to, we've had a request to remove G, the public hearing for the rezoning.
No.
It was not a written request, it was just a phone call.
What does the powers to be want to do about that?
Well, like she has noted, we don't, or didn't receive a written request, but I understand the gentleman that pulled the application spoke with Bill Leonard and with Tony. Property was, I think that was somewhat contingent on a previous buy-sell agreement. That's off the table, so they just like to ask it to be pulled. It would be ideal if we had something in writing.
That would be my preference, but
Nonetheless, I guess it's your call if you would just like to withdraw it.
you know, well, I would recommend that the chairman open public hearing. If there's no comment, we close the public hearing and take it to a vote. Then that's done. It's in the minutes.
Yeah, you can just deny it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, we'll commence the public hearing. Any comments?
We have a motion on the floor to approve the agenda and second by. Okay. There's a motion.
Then we're going to do that.
Okay, everybody say aye if they agree with approving the agenda. Aye. Okay. Now we have we'll commence a public hearing. Nobody has,
Without lack of participation, I would move that we close the public hearing.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
We didn't have a support for that, but that's okay.
I'll support it.
There you go.
and you'll take care of that. Okay, so now we're at the consent calendar.
Now we got to vote for Dave.
It's on the agenda later on down.
Oh, it's down farther?
On Jane.
Okay, sorry.
Your motion to approve the consent calendar,
Oh, so moved, sorry.
moved by George, supported by Steve, to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, administrators report.
So it's fine. We've met a couple of times since we last met, so I don't have a whole lot to say, but I would note that I spoke with the incoming finance director yesterday, and I think he's genuinely excited to get started. He'll be here Monday morning and ready to go, so that's good news. I also want to mention that Woodhill Group, who has been performing those financial services, is going to be here tomorrow, and we anticipate them continuing for a bit for the transition.
Mhm.
I think Mary Ann has prepared kind of a description of accomplishments that they've had, and we'll try to maybe more detail an exit plan here next month. So, hey, we're not gonna go.
Have a rough time limit, like maybe a month or whatever.
That's what we're gonna have a serious discussion about.
Okay.
Maybe a little play in that, but yeah, we need to.
We gotta
Put that kind.
Well, we gotta cut them off sometime as long as, but fruitful discussions and things go along.
Right, their hours will drop significantly once he's acclimated and
Okay.
tying up some ends for audit preparation and stuff.
Right. And we do have it coming up already.
Yeah. So anyways, I will make you aware, but we'll have some more discussion about that probably next meeting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I met with Eric Ripley, the city manager at Alma, had a nice discussion about a variety of issues that the county and the city and et cetera. And that went well. Attended the central dispatch meeting yesterday, the authority meeting. And in my own regard, we have a offer pending to the next administrator. I have talked with Dave and advised him that I'm going to be reducing my hours here in the coming weeks, starting, this week. For 5.5 months, I did 40 hours pretty regularly and hung in here. And I think as I explained when I started that I wanted to be out here 1st October, but I'm willing, if you're willing to have me around to attend the meetings and do what I can in a more limited basis in the coming weeks until we can make that transition official as well. So my contract says I'll work 30. I'm not going to be meeting that obligation, but if everyone's comfortable, I'll just continue on my duties on a more limited basis. And so I thought I would make that.
Appreciate you sticking with us because we didn't get you out of here on time, but.
Yeah, no worries. I just want to be certain that I said that, heard it.
Yeah.
So if I'm not here, when someone comes in, well, where's Ryan now?
Hunting.
I don't have a real definitive schedule.
Around here, all you gotta say is hunting. It goes fine. As long as you're hunting, it's good to go.
Anyways, that would conclude my report.
Steve, what have you got?
Attended the Conservation District meeting last week due to the government shutdown. It was held at the extension office up in Elma instead of down here in Ithaca. They just normal in the business. They didn't have their full board there. It's kind of had one come late, one had to leave early, but they did have key quorum while they were there for their business to be conducted. They have a youth pheasant hunt that is they still had position or spots open for that. Youth pheasant hunt at the Ashley Sportsman's Club, 8554 South Mason Road, Bannister. It'll be on November 8th. It's being hosted by the Gratiot County Conservation District and Gratiot County Pheasants Forever. It's open for kids age 12 to 17. Hunter safety course completion is required. It's 8 a.m. rain or shine. Anybody that is interested is to contact Dylan at the Gratiot Conservation District for more information. So anyhow, they're hoping to get it totally filled up. It's a pretty remarkable opportunity for young people. And there was a local farmer down there that donated a nice sizable chunk of land. So they got plenty of area to hunt. So it should be fun for them. So other than that, I spent almost every other meeting I had in a combine. Other than last night, I have a daughter who came home to surprise us, and we took her out for her birthday meal last night. So I missed the North Shade meeting, but from what I understand, it was very short and sweet because they all wanted to get home and watch the Lions play. So that's how that one went.
Dan?
Okay, I went to Bethany Township, which would have been last Tuesday. And that was kind of a short meeting too. There was only 5 of us there. And so it was just not anything real important. Other than that, that was the only meeting I've attended.
Okay, George,
Well, let me get my calendar back up here. On Monday, the 13th, I went to Hamilton Township first and then to North Star. Hamilton Township met with one of the people that use oh my goodness. Help me out, Terry. The people that we send some of our money to.
Yesterday?
Huh?
No, Michigan
No.
class.
Class, thank you, Michigan class. And she was there and she was helping them through the process. They're gonna start putting some money in the Michigan class, which I recommend to all townships to do that because it's a great way to make. They don't have a lot of money to put in the bank, if you will, They don't pay that much, but class does a great job. So I did that.
Kristen, she's very helpful.
Yes, yeah. So she did a great job. I went to North Star. They're still struggling with a house that is partially torn down. It was supposed to be torn down by now, but you know how that happens. They got some people that think they should camp out in North Star and not live in a house. That's another problem. We do have a problem right out here across from Beacon and Bridge. And that's in your township, Emerson. They're camping out again. We got 2 trucks and a car. They've been there for the last couple of weeks. Living in their cars and whatever, taking showers and using the restroom at Beacon and Bridge. The only way that we can get to them, way I understand, is through the Michigan State Police. They've been called, and so we're just waiting. That's.
Are they from out of state or are they?
Oh, no, they're right from Michigan. Oh, yeah.
It's currently in front of our state legislators to try and come up with an actual like law that that's not legal
See,
to
the county sheriff's kind of got his hands tied.
state-owned property.
State-owned property.
Yep.
MDOT, he said, in the law, it says MDOT can create an order of trespass.
Yes.
Well, I don't ever seen one coming. I've never seen one coming. So the Michigan State Police will help us out from time to time. And so we're working through the channels there to get someone to remove them. But it's not only unsightly and it shouldn't happen, but they're picking on the business across the street to go and mess their bathrooms up and their showers up. And for what? You know, keeping the homeless across the street? You know, sometimes we have to draw a line. So we're working
The
on it.
place you're gonna draw the line is when they don't walk across the street to use the restroom.
Well-
That's the only way you're gonna get them out of there.
Yeah.
I just want to add
Keep
to
that in
that.
mind. Been involved in it a few times.
I wanted
That's the
to,
way you're gonna get them out of there.
I just want to add to that. My sister's from Shiawassee County. And she was just telling me that down by the river, which is down by, if anybody knows Owasso, there's 21 that goes through there. And they have a Tim Hortons, but they also have a river that goes down through there. And there's over 1,000 people with tents that are homeless.
Yeah.
That are living there and they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
There's 1,000, you can imagine, what do you do with 1,000 people?
When the ice and snow comes, they'll have to find something else.
They set fires, they have a little fire, I mean, you'd think they're camping out for the winter.
Below zero, good luck.
Yeah, because last year was not that bad of a winter, but if we have a good hard winter,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a problem.
And then, went to, on Tuesday night, the 14th, I went to Lafayette Township and Wheeler Township. Lafayette Township is working on their preparation for their new, township hall and getting stuff around for that. And Wheeler Township, they've got a lot of things going on. They have a new assessor and he's really apparently doing a real good job and helping them out. We're still struggling with the building, the old Beacon and Bridge gas station. I've gotten more involved in that now. And so I make weekly calls now to the company that's supposed to tear it down. And for 4 weeks now, it's been 2 weeks. And so we've had our kind of stern discussions with them. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Today, I had an opportunity today to sit down with a local businessman that is changing his business model and doing some things that are different. But it's an opportunity for the county. Our South Industrial Park the ground is owned by the county. And so we would have to sell, or he would have to purchase ground from the county. So I looked at it and all of the lots have been sold so far, and that's from the beginning back in 2000. All right. They've all sold for $12,000 an acre. So I don't know, I'm for just general discussion, what do you think of continuing the $12,000 an acre? Or should we look and have look at an assessment and see if we need to, go ahead, Rod.
Wasn't it a lot?
Yeah, one lot,
Yeah. Glad
5.5 acres.
that-
Yeah, it's $12,000 an acre. But it was just, no, the lot price is $12,000 an acre, not the lot.
I didn't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thought it was awfully cheap when you was.
No, $12,000 an acre, for 5.5 acres. So, all lots have been sold like that, and they've at that $12,000. Now, we don't have to make a decision today, but I would like to know if we should get an assessment on it or continue our practice of selling it for $12,000. They have to come before this board. So I'm just wondering, what
What year did we start selling them?
thousand, I think,
2000?
somewhere in that neighborhood.
So it's been that same price all along since then?
Yeah, they just, all the way up until 2014 was the last time we sold a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's something we'll have to take a look at.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, I think I'll just go out and see if I can't poke around, see what the general real estate people think. See what we should do. That's all right. Just poke them, I don't know. I want it to be fair, but I want to be fair to all concerned too, so. I don't know. I never thought about it till the guy, I found out today that, and it's a viable, I mean, it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
This is a business that is, changing, but they've been in business for 100 years in this county, doing different things. And now they're changing the business model. He's selling his property and needs to go somewhere to build parts and things, and he wants to, that's the property's pick, so. Going from there. All right, so I'll continue, I'll just look around and see what I can find out, and I'll bring back the next meeting, what I find out. Okay?
Sounds good.
Because he wants to move on the property. He's got the other property sold, so he needs to move. We gotta, tell him what he can expect because he's got to put everything, line it all up, so. Okay, that's it.
Tim?
October 9th, I went to the mental health building. The continuing big theme is, the state wants more control of mental health. And, they don't want to give the state more control. You see that in the signs if you drive by the Right Avenue building. Also, the big thing, we gave Michelle Stillwagon a 3-year contract, and a boost in pay. A lot of people liked it. So that was accomplished. October 14th, I went to the Elma City Commission meeting. There's a sinkhole on Superior, the main drag, that needs to be fixed. They have signs, and at first impression, you don't think there's really anything going on. But there is. It's a sinkhole. The clay absorbs too much water and causes it to sink. So they want to fix it permanently. They talked about a wastewater pump that they need to repair. And the Alma Police hired a mental health person to go on calls. That's been a theme too, mental health and crime. October 18th, I was just going for a walk in the Elma Fairgrounds, the Armory, where the Gratiot County Fair for Youth is. I didn't know this, but there was a big line of pontoon boats, and campers, and they rent those buildings in the winter, so the boats have someplace to go.
Oh, at the fairgrounds they rent them.
And the fairground.
Yes, that's,
Yeah.
they were staged over there coming into the fairground.
Put them all, they said.
Yeah, but it's all the buildings in the fairgrounds.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I was at that meeting with Tim. In that pump they were talking about, it was, I think, $50,000 to overhaul, but a new one was over 100,000. So they're overhauling the pump. And I went to Greater Gratiot, and I don't know if everybody knows, but after the first of the year, Jim is leaving, and Casey will take over as the president. So that's all I got. We got a couple of people here from high school. You have to ask us any questions? It's not that strenuous.
Have to run.
Really, live in the district that you're trying to get your seat, so you have to be a county resident and live within the district of where you're.
Represent.
Yeah, that you represent, so.
You have to get a petition, a few people have to sign.
You can pay.
Or you can pay $100. You take,
Or you could pay $100.
you can get 5 people to sign or pay $100. You figure it out.
And then I think you have to be 18.
Yeah, you have to be 18, you have to be voting age.
You gotta wait a couple of years.
And you gotta be willing to serve. By first blush, county commissioners, boy, you guys don't do a lot. Well, we have meetings all the time. We go to constant township meetings, different board meetings. We're all on different boards. So we do a lot of meetings. You've got to be able to give up your time. And if you look around this board, you don't see any young people, do you? Well, it's a shame, but at the same time, young people have to work for a living. And they're working all the time, and you're raising young families and doing a lot of things. But as you get older, think about it. When you have, if you have time, if your job allows you to have that time, think about it. But it's a really good, and it's a rewarding job. It really is. So I recommend it to anybody that wants to be it. But you got to live life first. You got to get that out of the way, because you can't give all your time. This is like. It's a part-time job, let's say, but we give a lot of our time here. I mean, if you add it all up, we make about 25 cents an hour. It's not a lot. So it's not about the money, it's about giving back in service.
And I wanna thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Okay, consideration to do business, consideration to approve the 2025 apportionment report. Again.
All right, today I've got the 2025 apportionment report for review and approval. And I have a short presentation that I put together to accompany the apportionment report, just because it can be kind of a mystery. There's a lot of information in there, and I feel like the best way to cover it is to give just a short presentation of what goes into the apportionment report, so you know kind of what you're approving and what we do to create this report. Clicker. All right, so the apportionment report. So what the apportionment report is a summary of all the millage rates and special assessment millage rates that are to be levied in the county. The report will show the millage rates, it'll show the current year taxable value, and then it will give an estimate of what that millage rate is going to generate in tax dollars. This report is created throughout the year using several different reports. These reports are the millage reduction fraction computations form, or the L4028. And I'll have examples of these forms here in a little bit. We also use the millage reduction fraction calculation worksheet, which is we call the L4034, and then the tax rate request form, which is the L4029. That one you might be familiar with because that's what the county fills out each year to levy their millage rates. Before getting into those reports, I wanted to cover a little bit of the millage reduction fraction and what it is and when it's applied. So a millage reduction fraction happens when a taxing authority's taxable value from last year to this year increases more than what the current rate of inflation is. So if that happens, the millages in that authority are going to be reduced to reduce the tax burden on the taxpayers. So as you can see on the slide up there, that is the formula that we use to calculate the millage reduction fraction. We take last year's taxable value minus the current year losses, and then we multiply that by the current rate of inflation. And then we divide all of that by the current year taxable value minus the current year additions. So that gives us a fraction, and then we take that fraction and we apply it to the millage rate through the L4029 to use those millages.
What's the common term for that?
Millage reduction fraction?
Is there a Headley, is that referring to Headley?
Yeah, yep. So like the Headley reduction, most of the time we refer to it as millage reduction fraction, but it came about because of the Headley amendment. So
That, you hear that term a lot. I used to make that connection.
yeah. So this is an example of the L4028. So this is the form that we use to calculate those millage reduction fractions. So you can see on the left-hand side, we have the taxing authority there, and then going across from left to right, you have the 2024 taxable value, 2025 taxable value, the current taxable value of the losses, current taxable value of the additions, and then where that red arrow is, that is the millage reduction fraction there. So we fill out this report in May of each year, and once we fill it out, we send it to all of the surrounding counties as well, and they fill out this report and they send it to us. Because the school districts don't follow the county lines. So in order to calculate a millage reduction fraction for all the school districts, we take the surrounding counties reports and we combine them into one called the L4028 inter-county report. This form right here is the L4034, and this basically has the exact same information as the L4028, the previous report. So we actually only fill this report out upon request each year. You can see in the red box up here is that millage reduction formula. It just has the figures plugged in, so you can see what's all being applied there, and then it has your millage reduction fraction. Last form here is the 4029, the one you're probably familiar with. This is how the millage reduction fraction is applied to these millages. So you can see on the form, you have column 5 here to the left of that red box. That's the current millage rate. And then the red box is the millage reduction fraction. Those two are multiplied together to get to your reduced millage rate. And that's the form that is approved, and that's how the millages are levied.
You could talk about millage reduction. My taxes go up every year.
Mm-hmm.
Millages,
Yeah.
not taxes, it's millages, which you can consider taxes, yes, but it's at the millage.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of times, or each year, your taxable value is going to go up either by the rate of inflation or 5%, whichever is less. A couple years in a row there, it was 5% because the rate of inflation was over that. So that's why you see the jump in your taxes. So your taxable value that went up, whatever, 4 or 5% from last year to this year, that taxable value is going to be applied to these millage rates. So a lot of times you're going to see your millage rate be increased, or your tax bill still be increased by that rate of inflation, even if your millage rates do get reduced slightly. So if you have, let's say, a huge jump in taxable value, it's over your 5% inflation, then your millages are still going to be reduced a little bit, but so you're going to see less of an increase than you would without the reduction, if that makes sense. But you're still seeing that 5% increase to your taxable value, but you're seeing a slight reduction in the millage just to kind of offset that.
We reduced two of them this year ourselves.
Mhm.
So that will reflect into this equation as
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And if a millage, is
0.15 between the two of them, correct?
something like that. Yeah, I don't know the exact number.
0.1 and 0.05 is what we went down. So
Yep, and so you'll absolutely see that. And then any millages that expire or anything like that, you'll see that directly reflected in your tax bill too. Your tax bill should have a breakdown of every single millage that's collected right on there, so you can see what is all being applied and where it's going. All right, so moving on. Moving on to the actual report, instead of going through each page, because there's a lot of information in there, I figured I would just give an overview of what is on each page. So the first page is the board letter. This is just saying that this is a summary of the taxable values, millage rates, special assessment millage rates that are levied within each township, and it's the responsibility of the board to approve the certification spread of these millages upon the taxable value. The second page is the county, township, city, and village millage rates. So each page is going to have really similar information. Basically, on the left-hand side, you're going to have the taxing authority. Then you're going to have the taxable value of that authority. Then you're going to have your operating millages, and then you're going to have an estimate of what those operating millages will bring in. For this report, the estimate does tend to be a little bit higher than what's actually collected because it's not taking into account different exemptions, abatements, things like that are in each taxing authority. But then after that, you'll have all of the extra voted millages and then again, an estimate of what those will levy. The third page, you're going to have your different authorities, your DDAs, your fire authorities, transit, things like that. And same thing, it's going to have your taxable value, your millage rate, and then it's going to have an estimate of the levy. Page 4 is your school districts. Then page 5 is your intermediate school districts and community college. Page 6, this is going to be the total rate for the township and school districts. So somebody wanted to go and get an estimate of what they're going to pay for a year for their total tax rate. They can find their township on here, whatever school district they're in, and then they can sort by PRE and non-PRE or homestead and non-homestead to get an estimate of their tax rate. Page 7 is any special assessments that are levied by millage. And then 8 is just the certification statement saying that the report is approved. So I went through that a little bit fast. I apologize if lost anybody or anything like that. Does anybody have any questions or anything regarding the report?
Thank you.
I would just, we talked about the millage reduction calculations. We've talked about that before. Hadley came about around 1970. The county's general allocation was established around that same time. It's been rolled back a number of times. That's the calculation that's
Brings
the
it
general
back down.
is pulled the counties down about $0.5 from its original allocation. Most of the time with the special millages, they're 4 years, 6 years. They'll maybe roll back a time or two there slightly, but then they're renewed and they reset typically back to their full authorization. With the general allocation that the county shares with the townships of 1 mil and the allocation of the general allocation intermediate, my knowledge has never been reset, and that's something that we've talked about.
Yeah. Do you recall that figure of how much, if we just reset it back to where it originally started at? You'd given us a figure a while ago, was 590,000 or something?
900.
Or 900,000, okay.
Right there now.
Almost $1 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost $500,000. You got $2 billion
Yeah.
taxable value. It's,
Yeah.
it's right there somewhere.
And that's just gonna continue to go down unless we reset it.
Well, if the reduction of fraction if it grows fast enough and they have to reduce the base millage, then yeah, but many years that doesn't happen, but it has happened periodically.
Yeah, yep. In my experience, it's not very common for a county to get a millage reduction fraction, but it seems like the last couple of years with crazy inflation rates and stuff like that and property values kind of all over the place, it's getting a little more common. But it's hard to predict.
You know, it was like in the seventies when it originated. It's been 50 years.
Yeah.
So it has been reduced to different
Yeah.
last half century. Yeah, anyways, we talked about that and all fits together. I just wanted to,
And when you were at Clinton County, they reset it a few times, didn't they, in
Yeah.
your tenure there? So
yeah,
definitely something we as a board should at least
the number of.
look at, especially if we're looking at our depreciation values on all of our
Right,
solar and wind stuff.
yeah.
So that's something that needs to be on the,
Book, yes.
we at least need to look at.
Okay,
I just like paying taxes more needed.
we already approved the millages before, right?
Yeah, that's all done. We just need to approve to extend the contract with you, right?
No,
So this is the approved the county 4029. This is a different report. This is the county apportionment report. And this has to be approved by law by the county.
I would make a motion that we approve the apportionment report given by the
Sport.
moved by George, supported by Steve to approve the apportionment report. All those in favor, say aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Next up, Dave. Central Dispatch update. Dave Rapids.
Good afternoon. Does anybody need a copy of the PowerPoint? I brought some non-colored ones if you need them.
Yeah, I'm on.
What?
PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, yeah, you're non-color. Like these then?
I don't think so. No, they're black and gray scale.
I need pictures.
Okay.
Easier to read.
Well, thank you for allowing me some time today. I just wanted to come over and give an update on Gratiot County Central Dispatch. I was hired in June of 2023 to come in and take over as the director. And since then, we've made some big milestones and accomplishments at the center. And I wanted you to be aware of what we're doing over there and how things are going. So like I said, in 23, I was hired. The first order of business, of course, was to overhaul and evaluate what was going on out at the center. We looked at that. The biggest thing was there was a staffing issue. We had some people leave. We had some people go part-time. We had a dispatcher / director that was ready to retire the third time over again. So it was a very lean crew when I got there. So first order of business was to start hiring some people, get them in there, get them trained. The culture and the morale was low due to some overtime that they had all been working. Some of the guys have been working 7 days in a row and 6 days in a row, or, quite a few hours over the last few months before that. And there was some previous issues that were going on before I got there. And so there was a little shock to the system that way, as well as culture. So my main points when I got there was to A, get the staffing up, and B, change the culture and the morale in that place and get it back on track. So I evaluated the operational functions, found to be technology still lacking in the old days. So we wrapped that up real quick. We purchased a program that made our scheduling electronic. So it was always available and it was out 6 months at a time. Showed the days off, showed where people had vacations. Policies and procedures, those are always an ongoing issue.
That electronic schedule, can they see that on their cell phone?
Yes, they can. If they can see it on their phone, they can put in for time off on their phone.
That's something can be utilized by other departments within the county?
Yes, it can. I've shared it with the sheriff. I don't know if he's gotten that far yet or not, but yes, it's a nice platform. It's easy to use, easy to orientate, and it does everything for you.
It did say 2025 on here. Thanks for joining the century.
Yeah. Relationships with public safety agencies had been strained. I opened the doors back up. I invited the officers in, the other agencies in, so we can start building that team effort across the whole county as one and not separated. Training, we had some staff that weren't up to date. They weren't in their designated criteria according to the state. As of today, everybody is designated. So we have 14 designated dispatchers at the Gratiot County Central Dispatch. That means they've done their basic, their advanced, and they've all had their 24 hours of continuing education and are up to date, as well as they continue to go to classes on a regular basis. They come and ask me, can I go to this? I say, see you later. I'm a very education proponent type person, and I believe in education, whether they're doing it online, going in person, it doesn't matter. I want them to get the education. Matter of fact, 3 of the newest are going to a class next week down in Romulus for difficult callers. That'll have 8 different topics for a whole day of how to handle difficult callers. So all the designation levels, they've been fixed. All the plans of remediation have been accepted and up to date. So we're all at a great level, and that includes myself. I made sure I got all the training. Again, even though I did it back in the hundreds and became recertified again in all the aspects that I expect all my people to be certified in. So I can sit at the desk and do their job just as well as they can. Well, as well as they can, but I'll pretend. We needed to hire 3 new people. We got them. We hired them. We ended up with 2 out of the 3. The one decided, this isn't for me. So he left. We used testing, we used interviews, we do job shadows. And we put in place that type of regiment for each time we go to hire now. We put it out for applications. Once we get your application, we'll send you through what's called a critical test, which is an online test. They can take it home. It takes about 2 hours. It's different dispatch tasks that you would do on a normal day. We get the results back. They come in, they do a 3-hour or 4-hour job shadow during our busy times to see if this is something I really, really want to do, to make sure. So we hired those. And then just recently we had another group and one didn't stay. So we hired another 2. We got 3 more. So, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Scheduling, work to get a better schedule in place, reduce the number of days employees were working in a row. They actually got their days off. I kind of forced them and said, no, I will work, take the day off. Because it was important for them to get their mental health back in place. It was important for me, for them to be sharp on the dot, ready to go when they're there. And they work 12-hour shifts. So we did that. We trained up. I started to assist as much as I could, as fast as I could. We held an employee meeting, took their concerns, made some solutions. And I also wanted them buy-in of the new regime, so to speak. I don't make a decision really by myself. If I have a policy, it goes to them. They review it, they make sure it's right, what we do. If we change something, it's a committee. It's not, this is how it's going to be, and it's done. So I have involved them in all the decisions that I can involve them in, that don't involve personnel, of course, when it involves the center. Some administrative challenges. Of course, I did not have a predecessor when I arrived, so I'm still treading water, trying to figure out everything I need to do, but it's getting better. The finances were not in the greatest of condition. The fund balance was shrinking. We were a surcharge-only center, meaning the $3 we collected from the cell phone was all we got for funding, minus a little bit from the state for training and a shared balance between all 911 centers. No other revenues for the center. Reviewing the bills, the services, found some things that hadn't been charged in a while. We got that straightened around according to the State 911 Act. And a review of the last state audit was read from the 911 side to see what we were missing. And we've corrected any of those items that were missing as well and retread and fixed all those. It was nice enough for Michigan State Police to welcome me with a lien audit when I got there. I thank them greatly for that. I tried to get that suspended, but they said no. It's the first lien audit I've done, so I was assisted by a couple of the dispatchers, which was good because they'd been through it. We had very little problems with that lien audit. We passed it just fine. We had to put up a couple signs, and our next audit should be next year sometime. It's every 3 years they come through and make sure we're doing it. So administrative duties, I found myself paying a lot of time to paying bills, putting in surcharge checks, tracking things down. doing a lot of clerical things that were keeping me from doing other things. So my future goal was to get an administrative assistant to help me with that, which brought us to the files weren't organized, retention schedules aren't identified, policies to review, purchase the Power DMS system to help us with that. With our scheduling, it does our policies and procedures. It also does our training program. It's all electronic. And again, building the relationships with the other public safety agencies. So then I identified, what do we need to move forward? And this is where it comes, oh, we need money. So some future things that were needed was a radio tower in the north section of the county. The whole north section of the county from Elma above was very sporadic. Digital transmissions being bonked, can't get through. All the way out to the northwest to the county lines on both ways. So there was a big lack of area of coverage for radio transmissions. The furniture in the center was the original. It was broke. There was no parts to fix it. It was dilapidated and it outlived its days. Our computer-aided dispatch system, which is what we put all the calls into when you call 911 for service and tracks all of it, and dispatches the officers and the fire and EMS, outdated, inadequate, and is limping by day at this time. Our infrastructure, we changed a lot of that around, and we got into public relations, community outreach. Again, I feel it's important for the 911 center to be out in the public. I feel it's important for them to come see us. So we started doing different things in that aspect as well. We'll talk in a minute. Buildings and grounds, we are looking probably for a new generator in the next few years, a new roof. Heating and cooling may need to be upgraded. Security of the property has no fencing around it. So it's just a driveway. And we've had some issues of people dropping people off in the parking lot or dropping them off in the cornfield, the end of the parking lot during the nighttime. So those are some things we looked at for the future. We know the surcharge was topped. It's not being changed at the state level. It's state law. No general fund money. There's some areas that charge departments for services. Didn't want to go that route, so I went through a millage, came to the board. We had a millage campaign that was very successful. 6 mills for 6 years for infrastructure, tower, CAD, general operations. And that was passed in August of 2024, which I was very nervous about that day. But it passed, and I was thankful for it, and I'm thankful every day that we have that. So what do? We start lining up our projects. How are we going to do them? When are we going to do them? What needs to be done first? Of course, the tower is the first thing. If anybody's been up to Alger and Wright in the last week, and you look to the northwest, you'll see this pretty tower in the trees. That's a 300-foot radio tower of the MPSCS with a 10-foot lightning rod on the top, and that is the new radio tower that's going to provide that communications to the north area, Alma, St. Louis, Breckenridge, Sumner, Seville, here in the future. Furniture in the center, we've updated that. New IT provider, a new computer-aided dispatch is on the books. Radio encryption, the FBI was nice enough to say it is now mandatory for you to encrypt your radios for police CGIS information, which is the lien information where they run their license plates and driver's records. A new floor in the dispatch center. School violence, we've applied for a school violence grant to help our schools. And we're continuously doing research for fire radios and other infrastructure items on other grants. So, yes, sir.
Your new computer-aided dispatch. It's on the books, so you've got it, or you're getting it, or
So
you've picked which one you want?
we're just starting.
You're starting, okay.
We just approved a consultant yesterday
Yeah.
to help us go through that process. We have seen some of the guys have seen some of the conferences.
Will it include mobile CAD?
Yep, it will include the mobile data portion for the,
Everybody will have it in patrol cars and the trucks and all.
You're looking at the entire county, aren't you, for that?
yes, yep, it'll be all police.
All police departments.
Yep, and the fire may have one in their first out engine.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so they can have it because we want to make this CAD a product that has everything in it that we can get in it. So hazardous materials, tier 2 stuff, premise warnings. We use a lot of different apps that we want to consolidate into the CAD. So when we push in the call, it automatically takes care of what we don't have to go over and log in and do again.
Mhm.
So it's going to be about a 12-month project. We do that. And that's this year's project. It's the CAD.
Yes.
What do you think that total cost is gonna be?
Somewhere between 425,000 to $1 million. I don't think we're going to get in the million range. I think we're probably going to be in the 400,000 range. We don't need the top tier, but we don't need the Cracker Jack box either. So that's why
It's gonna be viable for
the next few years.
and
And
have updates in it.
yes,
A lot of times you don't, and that screws everything up.
yeah, we're looking for one that's going to go for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, good.
So we want a vendor. That's why we have the consult, because they know those things
Well, yeah.
and they can help us with that and negotiate those prices. Because that's a lot of money to not do.
Be here next meeting to
Yes,
discuss.
you hear the next meeting to talk about that a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So some outreach, during the millage time, we did the farmers markets. This last year, we were at the Masonic Health Fair. We were at Ashley Night Out. We attended a couple football games between St. Louis, Ithaca and Fulton schools, where we went out and just hung out and passed out our swag. Passed out our bags that you can see. I hate to say it, but I'm all out of swag for now. But it's a new budget year and we've got it in the budget, so we'll get some new swag. I was lucky enough to attend third grade science class at Fulton recently. That's the picture of me in the library. It was a weather discussion. They wanted to know what happens when 911 gets weather and things like that. It was a very good discussion and they were very loving and they liked it a lot and got a lot out of it. So I try and get the dispatchers out to do that as much as possible. Here's the tower. This is an actual picture of part of that tower from the other day. The location and selection was done after testing. We found a high point in Gratiot County, just north of Alma there. We worked with Mr. Mike Pong, who owns that property, who leased us that property at a nice rate for the next 60 years. So that's a really good investment there for us. Motorola, the MPSCS, and other vendors are involved. There's a ton of people involved in this project. Long process of many testing and report. Everything has gone wonderful. We got FCC clearance, we got soil testing done, we got historical preservations, we got the FAA. Everything's done. Our main concern is consumers and getting the power to the site. So we're on their timeline now. We broke ground on the 15th. The pillars were in. They cured for 28 days. After 14, they were already at 95% ready to go. So the tower construction went up and it was up within 4 days, 300 foot. They cranked it out. They had beautiful weather and boom, it was up and going.
Wind.
And no wind, no rain, no nothing. It was a great. Yeah, it was great. Our next step in that is going to be in November when the shelter comes with all the equipment and we start putting it together. And we look to have that in service the latest, the end of January of 2026, hopefully sooner. I just talked about those things. Here is a little bit of the remodel. The pictures here you see is the old dispatch center. Again, the furniture was about 20 years old, non-functioning, broken doors and cabinets, and it was time. It was a huge morale to give them some new furniture. And they really like the furniture they have. Give them some nice workspace. So we went from this. There's a little bit of the building that went on. We also decided to incorporate the whole room. Before they were just using half of the room. We now have 4 heavy-duty 700-pound positions in the dispatch center. So we can put 3 up. The 4th one's not built yet, but over time we'll build that up and we'll have 4 active positions in case of emergency or anything else. All ergonomical, standing, sitting, fans, heater. And as you'll see, we even have some lighting going on. Have some etched glass in there. Yep, there's some lighting underneath there and that glass etched with one of our logos.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Day and night when you go over there.
I had the pleasure of being in there. I tell you what, you guys
Fantastic.
Yeah. It is a true fresh breath. We're just waiting for that floor to come in. And once the floor comes in. So here's a couple other pictures of how it is. Some like to work during the dark time and leave it dark in there. Some like it during the day with lights on. But that's the new center as you see it today. Please stop out and see it at any time.
It's something to do.
Yeah, if you can stop by, stop by. We were lucky enough to celebrate this young man here, Mark Duflo. He was the original 911 director, the one that wanted to retire a couple times over. I made it a point, came back to you when I first got here, that we named that building after Mark. It's very appropriate, and this was the day that we let him know. He didn't even see it when he walked in that day. I don't know how. Yeah, that is on the outside of the building. Mark and his family joined us that day for some pizza and cake, and Mark's still working for us part-time here and there. So true asset to Gratiot County. A great accomplishment with 40 years. Like I said earlier, here's our training status. We have 2 trainees right now, 14 designated, nobody is delinquent, and nobody is undesignated. As of now, if you're undesignated, you do not get your money from the state for training. So it's important that we keep our people trained and designated at all times now. Here's some programs that we work with and we promote on a daily basis through our social media. This is all going under our accomplishments. Rave facility is something we're kind of working on. This is for business owners to build safety profiles for their businesses. So they build a profile, just like Smart 911. They call 911 from there. All their information will populate into the CAD screen so we can see it. Key holders, materials, anything they want to put in it is in there. Same with the Smart 911. You build it for your house and you can put all the information in there that you want. And when you call 911, whether you're here, Alabama, California, and Smart 911, it travels with you across the United States, as long as they're a Smart 911 center, which there's so many, it's not even fun. The other program that we use is the Rave Emergency and Notifications. That's been the one that was pushed really hard. And this is for the severe weather that we have here in the state or the county, and we put out
Crazy weather alerts on your phone in the middle of the night.
sometimes, yep. We have bad traffic accidents, large incidents or anything like that that we want to throw out. We use the Rave notification system so we can let the public know and they can stay informed. Another is the Rave panic button. This was with the school districts. Caught one day, one of the districts was getting a panic button. I'm like, who's getting a panic button and didn't come to 911 first? Come to find out, they were trialing the Rave panic system. I said, okay, that's great. That's fine. But we're not going to have 4 different panic systems in the county. So we can do what we need to do. Happy to say all the school districts are on the Rave panic button system. They work. I've been out testing with them the last month, and the school districts, the administrators, all have it right on their cell phone. They can open the app, push a button, and it alerts 911 like that before the phone call even gets there. Truly a remarkable program that is needed here in the schools. And then our newest accomplishment, we've been working on this one for about a year, myself and another dispatcher. This is the newest edition. This is the Gratiot Safe app. This Gratiot Safe app is available on the iOS Apple Store and the Google Play Store. It is totally free for everybody. Download it. There are a ton of resources in here. There's cities, villages, fire departments, police departments, other community, MDHS, all sorts of different services. Okay to say, the Rave facilities in there, the Smart 911's in there. There's a dispatcher feedback button on there. So if you want to ask dispatch a question or you have an issue, you can send us a feedback form. Severe weather stuff, there's tools. It is a nice app. It's free. It's everything in the county. It's updatable all the time. We're continuously changing it and moving forward with it. And we encourage everybody to get that. And we're going to work hard to get that out there as well. So.
You do a QR code that people can scan to download?
Yes, we can. Some people don't like QR codes because of the security reasons, but we can work as we go out to different places and put it on our sites.
Folks,
Real easy to put in.
just don't.
Just download it and he's ready to go. So future. We've increased our staffing. Our staffing was 2 per shift. We're gonna go to 3 per shift. Starting this year, we've hired 2, they're in training. We're going to 3 because of the workload. Now it's not always constant. However, more and more often, the officers are needing more and more assistance. People are calling us more and more often for different things. And if you have one incident, everybody's busy. So 3 people will help mitigate that, and hopefully the lines won't keep ringing and things like that. Again, we're working on the new CAD, radio encryption, where we started talking about that. Continuing education for our ECOs in the center, and community outreach and public relations projects continue to go on from here. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
I love the severe weather alert. Yeah, because if you're sleeping in the middle of the night, if you hear the wind blowing, the storms, you don't have to worry, is there a tornado? If there is, it's gonna come to your phone and then you know, hit the floor and get out of there. So,
And the severe alert comes right from National Weather Service.
no, and
You don't even have to do anything with it. It just pushes.
you don't have to sit there and worry when it's midnight, and it's dark and you can't see outside, you know, if something's coming, you're gonna know, so.
So, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Next up. Hear from our illustrious drain commissioner.
Yeah.
If you read that whole thing, we're gonna kill you.
No. Doors do too. So I submitted it to you guys. If you have any questions, I can answer for you right now. Other than that, it's the same as it is every year. Just a lot of numbers.
Yeah,
We've
Bernie,
been slow on, I will say, but we're still got maintenance that we've been addressing, so.
I'm gonna say most of all the drain work. And now, and in the foreseeable future is drain cleaning and drain improvement. But you're not planning on any new drains, right?
No new drains.
You
We
had,
very seldom do a new drain.
that's correct.
We've been established for many years.
Are things wrapping up with, obviously, you and I talked about, you're working with Clinton County on updating those drains that are inter-county drains.
That is correct.
Is that wrapping up now with?
All the 197s for the year are done. That's what you're talking about. It's a
Yep.
chapter in our code.
Yep.
But yes, we are done with them that we were working on.
Mhm.
We do not have all of them between Clinton County and Gratiot County completed, but the ones around Bannister, I think you're.
Yeah, the ones that,
Yes.
that like you and I talked about, those are completed now?
Yes, they
They
are.
hadn't been updated, what, 100 years, some of those, right? Some of the
Right, they'd be the original role,
the original.
which would follow parcels and legals. You know,
Yep.
that's the problem. As a square district, we
Yep.
got technology now, so that's where you bring them up to make an a real accurate district, all right? Based on contours and runoff, water runoff. Okay, so, yeah, them are all done. We do them every year, Steve. Montcalm and Gratiot, as far as inter-counties, we just talk inter-county, we're done in Montcalm and Gratiot. We're done, I think as this year, we're done with Saginaw. I'm pretty much almost done with Isabella Midland. I think we finished up. I mean, them are about done. And so it's a procedure when we go out and do work. Then we do it. Or if there's a project desired like down there, by getting a good district, then when we start spending money, these are the people that we're going to be assessing. Everybody knows up front, and we go forward. So if we don't work on a drain, like a tile drain that's out in the middle of a farm field that's never getting messed with, and it's working, good for the last 150 years, we may never do a 197 district on that, just because if we're not spending money, I don't need to spend money. Right, because if I do by the 197 process, I gotta do legal, I gotta do engineering, I gotta do the study, which costs money because it's work. And so I don't choose to do them unless I need to. And by that, I mean, it's gonna be assessed,
Cool.
Yeah, with our drain and large tax was way down this year.
You want me to help you out with that?
No.
Oh, all right.
Ask, can we expect it going forward or?
That's gonna be, yes, because you guys paid off a lot, okay? So you're not paying for the last 20 years right now.
Paying upfront.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you kind of caught up.
Okay.
So you're not paying for old improvements that were done, okay? And so now you're just on what's going forward. And that's gonna be based on our weather.
Yeah.
For the last 4 years, we've been rather
Right.
dry around here. So, but we are doing maintenance on stuff that's showing up. We got situations and when we don't have big rain events, it's not flushing the sediment down the drain anymore either. So it's getting caught up.
Yeah.
Where it's coming in the
You
drain,
have to dip a
all
lot.
these deer trails and muskrats and woodchucks, they're filling our drains.
We
It
wind up
stays right
dipping a
there.
lot. We don't have to dig a lot. We
Right.
dip a lot.
Yeah, just maintenance and I just isolated, but as far as larger projects, we just finished up one down there that hadn't been touched in 100 years. And them are the ones that, you know, are costly. That was a 276 drain vinegar, which was intercounty with Clinton County also. But that was construction's complete, yeah.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yep, we had roads washing out. It was just a neglected,
That was a mess.
but it was an intercounty, so them do get neglected kind of.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's finished up. The rest of my jobs right now that I got petitions on, which is typically a larger project. We have the 46 project, which is a number 2 drain. That's sizable, but MDOT's paying that. A lot of these other ones, I got MDOT funds. So any of them around the roads, I'm using MDOT
I
funds.
haven't heard about that Honeyole drain, that Honeyole Creek or whatever it is.
Well, you, 10 o'clock Thursday morning, come on over. We have a meeting at Chuck Sanders' house about it.
Oh,
So
okay.
welcome to come.
It just popped into my head.
All right, what that is, you know, they want to extend the drain. We haven't got easements down through there, so unless I get easements, can't extend the drain, okay? A lot of the property owners don't see a problem, so we're into that.
Okay, all right.
So that's part of a
Why, I
petition.
just thought I'd ask the
No,
question.
no, 10 o'clock, Thursday morning, yep.
Part of the Pine River mess.
Yeah.
Honey-o.
Yeah, well, Chuck lives right over that way.
Yeah. Another question.
Yes.
We talked about this one other time, the state trunk line Act 51.
Mhm.
Have we been able to make any headway on that? I guess there's like a gentleman's agreement, but isn't part of that supposed to be half paid by the county, half paid by the county road commission? And we pay it all?
I believe that's what the act says.
Okay,
I'm the drain commissioner. All right.
I understand, but
That's the difference. That's between you, the board, and the county road commission. Okay?
so what do we gotta do? Because I guess I don't understand if this is what the act is. You know, if this is how it's supposed to be, why are we footing the full bill?
I don't know that.
Something that's, I mean, because from what I read this, it's for our roads ditches. And we're paying the bill and the road commission's not paying any of it.
How do you and the road?
I don't know the agreement back when this all
Yes.
started about,
But doesn't the road commission actually, when they put a lot of stuff in, they actually pay for it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, I'm not, yeah, it ain't that,
How do you want to slice that coin in little parts?
you know,
Common practice around the state for the county road commission to pay 50% of the at-large.
that is the law.
So I guess to me, I'm wondering what was the
Don't know.
gentleman's agreement or?
Don't know if anybody's around.
Gentleman's agreement back in the day.
Yeah.
It was long before our time,
Mhm.
is that instead of having to divide that up and then us pay through the drain commission, have to pay it back. The county road commission, has done for years, if they dig up a corner or we have to replace something, do whatever they gotta do, they put it on their time and they take care of it. That's how that's been worked.
Didn't they do that anyhow? They're the ones.
They wouldn't do it, no, they would charge back to the drain commission. The stuff that is in there, they do up with drains and they repair stuff. Right now, they take care by the culverts. They do all that. If they did
With
do
the
that, then the
agreement-
drain commissioner buys the culverts.
With an agreement with the townships. Right now, they work with
I
the
was gonna say-
townships, so if they're gonna replace the road call,
The county drain commissioner takes care of the county drains.
that is,
Road drains that did dump into your county drains, that's not your responsibility.
That is correct.
That's the road commission.
That's correct.
So the road commission, if there's a tile that takes dirt or
When there
water from one side of the road to the other side of the road, ain't got nothing to do with him unless it's a county drain.
major roads in the county.
If it's a county drain, if it's just the road,
No,
it's nothing to do with him.
It's a drain, a county drain. They'll work on that and they'll put the culverts under the road and we've had several, I know.
I
Had
just
several
did a
replaced.
couple this year. I do them every year, okay? I
Good, there's one.
install them,
You know,
for them, okay? So what they'll do is they'll talk to the townships, and as far as I know, and there again, I'm not the road commission.
no,
My understanding is they split the cost of the culvert with the townships. That's why Gratiot County has good roads, is the townships have always been aggressively helping, is my understanding, okay?
driven down Wilson Road lately?
So,
It's a good road.
township,
Up here, you guys have a problem down there, but that's how you referred to it before.
but you know, it's a responsibility of the township along with the county road commission to maintain roads, if that makes sense. If I want extra stuff done out in our
This
township,
public act is a different thing. This is state trunk line
I agree.
highway assessment. This isn't gravel Grenland Road that I grew up on. You know what I mean? So I'm just.
So the culvert we just put in on Buchanan Road,
Mhm.
road commission paid for the culvert. They paid all expenses, including my inspection, and we installed it underneath Buchanan Road in the 168 drain, okay? So it's no cost to the district. And by the district, that includes you guys, me assessing you guys, everybody in the district. So they do pay for the culvert replacement. Does that make sense? The difference here would be is if I got a project and it's the assessment, okay? This 10% that we've been doing pretty much is the county's share. We would take it back to a 14A calc. It's gonna be about the same, okay? But this 14A calc is what I would assess the county, and you would split that 50% with the road commission per that law. Okay. If they want something else done, they want me to ditch them out or whatever, they'd pay for that. And typically they do right now pay for that, all right? So I'm not saying that they're not paying for nothing.
No,
The difference
I'm not,
is
they're not paying for anything either.
Our guys, actual assessment.
This one, I'm not saying, I know you work with them all the time.
Mhm.
But this,
You're gonna lose some to take some, is what I'm telling you. And I don't know, maybe an average, maybe you guys could come out ahead, but it's gonna.
It's worked well for 50 years, so if you want to change it, we'll change
I
it.
would suggest you talk to the road commission and talk to them.
Yeah, go down and talk to Mark.
One of their meetings.
And find out the exact situation first, but that is the law. And that's basically, we would switch everything to 14A calcs, which is the discharge of the water off the roadway. That is what I would assess to you. And that's why, so in theory, you're paying 50% of the road maintenance. And they're paying 50% of, that's involved with me. Any water runoff, any culverts under the road.
It just strikes me as odd that
So right now, you're not paying for Buchanan Road. That's what I'm saying. You gotta watch this. I don't know if the gentleman's agreement that's going is equal to this or not. I don't know that, but, you guys did not have any expense on the Buchanan Road culvert is what I'm trying to say. That was all used road funds. Or the township paid a portion of it. And I'm not aware of their agreement. I know the township typically pays 50%.
well, I think it's definitely something we need to at least talk to them about and find out, what is the, what I mean, the situation, the status of, this public act.
And if they can tell you we're doing it right now, it's just not like this, and they're at a different time, I'm positive the commissioners allocated money to the road commission. And that got discontinued. So there might be That's what I'm saying. I think how we got to where we were or are at is different agreements, you know? If you're not giving them 100 grand, you're not sending them a bill for 100. I mean, is this just shuffle around? I guess I would talk to Mark and I'd talk to the board down there, the road commission board, and ask some of these questions because
Talk to some other counties as well. I mean, this isn't common practice.
and I think it's going to be a little different everywhere because I hear it. I hear it from other, I mean, some of them, it's like, no, they don't. And then others, and I know Midland County, for example, they were doing a culvert over there and it wasn't going through this system. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to look at the whole thing. That's where, when I was questioned about it, I didn't want to shake it too much because I don't know the whole picture.
I had a talk, and
Yeah.
I went to talk to Mark about it.
Yeah, all I can tell you is what the law is.
I came to the conclusion after I talked to Mark about it, that if it's working well, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cause you're not gonna gain any more from it. You're gonna have a lot more paperwork and a lot more headaches. Or that.
And maybe you guys would say you are contributing more to the roadways in Gratiot County than you need to. That's what you would say. You understand what I'm saying? That's really what you're talking about, is you're contributing more. And Gratiot County has some of the best roads around here. If you go to other,
Except for Washington Township.
well.
No,
That's,
that road is.
by cheap gravel.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with the road that was built in 1954. Road commission ain't had nothing done.
That's what I would say.
Abandoned on it.
If you want to look at anything, you guys contribute additional potentially money to have nice roads in Gratiot County. Okay, that's what you're really talking about.
It's strange to me that the state just upped the transportation funding significantly in recent days, and they haven't done much anything for Gratiot County proper. And road funding has always been an issue, and they found their way to cut some deals in the last budget to up road funding significantly. And why are we sharing? I know it's common practice in most counties that they split that have large benefit, and why that practice on a gentleman's agreement that is a mystery apparently as to how the cost allocation that.
What year did that act go in? Does anybody?
1951, and it was
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
added to in 72, which became immediately effective January 3rd of 73. That was the.
Could have been amended and we'd have to look at amendments then.
I know that's common practice. That's.
I agree. I agree. I'm not arguing. I hear of it.
Common practice, but is it best practice?
But I think they're different practices. You know what I mean? There's not a word for word rule that says, hey, you do this, other than 50-50. But
Major counties south of here, they pay 50% of the at-large assessment.
I agree. Does the county ever contribute additional monies to the road?
No.
No, I'm not asking here in Clayton County, because that would be where we're getting into is, okay. You understand what I'm saying? If you're restricting, there again, I'm not gonna stick up for the road commission anymore. I'm gonna be done.
Well done.
It seems to be like that. It's that just you paid up years worth a year ago, and now you're getting another $60,000 bill there this year, 62.
Yeah, 62.
I can't.
Anyways, the annual at-large assessments to the county will continue as we move forward here.
Correct. That's state law.
Yes.
Yep.
You just paid off 20 years worth is what I understand. They were in arrears. Now's the time to do it. You're gonna make this adjustment going forward. You've already had a considerable credit. Anyways, I'm here to try to help the county find some cash, and that's my suggestion. Law's the law. These side deals that no one can really put their finger on what the dollar amount is. It's a little
I understand.
operation.
I agree with you on that. That's the problem when that stuff's messy. You don't know where all the pieces are.
That's the job of our office. Don't worry about that. Just pay what you're supposed to going forward and be done with it.
You got a month, so you'll have this handled, right?
So
You'll have this handled in a month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to leave.
Thank you, Bernie. I'd like to say it was good to see you, but we just can't.
Good job, Bernie.
Taxes, my raising the taxes.
Good job, Bernie. You're doing all right.
Thanks, Bernie.
Get some stuff.
Yeah. E-break.
I can use a quick one. I can just go, what's the next thing? Oh, let's,
Computer workstations, right?
yeah, we can get through this. Get through this.
Okay, consideration to approve a vendor for the computer workstation replacement project. Matt.
Evening. So this is a pretty straightforward project approval. This year for the 25-26 fiscal year, we had a capital improvement project scheduled to replace our PCs and laptops and that type of thing. We typically replace a fifth of the fleet every year, so every computer gets replaced once every 5 years. We had budgeted $36,000 for this project. I put it out for bid because it was a larger item project, and we got 18 vendors replying to the request for bid. Dell came in as the low vendor at $29,115. They went all the way up to like $80,000. And one of the reasons that Dell typically comes in as the low bid is because we participate in the My Deal program. It's a purchasing program through the state of Michigan, so we can basically piggyback off of state contracts and participate in their contracts. So we get really good pricing from Dell because of that. So I have two proposed recommended motions. One is to approve Dell as the vendor for this project because they came in as the low bid. The other motion that I would recommend is that we allow Dell to be a sole source provider for at least 3 years so that I don't have to bid out
Every year.
to this many people every year. It just takes time, and I feel like
Hasn't Dell been the winner, like, because of this My Deal thing?
basically since I've been around for
Yeah.
7 years.
I can't remember it. Even when I was across the parking lot, it's always been Dell.
They basically got us sewed up but we need to take advantage of the pricing.
Now, this has nothing to do with that, but how old are these? And
Isn't that?
We do have we have a separate project this year for tablet replacements. The Board of Commissioners tablets didn't make it on that schedule for this year, but I think that they are up next year. I would have to check, but yeah, they're close to being.
and is it a reason we have these and not a laptop, or is it just that's what they did? Or was it before you even got
It
here?
was before that I started that the Board of Commissioners had laptops. I think if I had to imagine the reason, it's probably because these are easier for us to administrate and maintain, and because you all aren't regular employees being here every day, it's just easier for us to work on them. But
I just was wondering.
and I think the other reason was their main purpose was to eliminate you all having printed board book packets. So the idea of you having something like a laptop just to replace a sheet of paper is probably part of it too.
Okay.
Currently, we have 1, 2, 3. How many commissioners get full packets? 4?
Or
Oh, I'm the only one that uses this thing, but
I use this thing to read mine every time, but I like to have this when I'm here, because it makes it easier than trying to, because we,
individual pages that
like the other meetings that we go to, the health department, if they showed where we were at, so you could follow, it would be much easier than trying to flip through there and it doesn't zoom in. And if you're not got the perfect connection, you've had the same issue I've had here where
don't connect.
it doesn't, I mean, it's not your fault. It's just there's times when it's like, it don't work. So it's really nice. That's why I want this, is I can put my fingers on it when I'm here.
Discussion is, then why do we have laptops? Or in other words, do we really need these? Does the county really need to spend
I
money?
get to every meeting I go to.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Use it, fine. I use mine.
use mine too.
I use mine religiously to you know me, I take it to help.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I take mine to Board of Health. I mean, it's,
Well, then I guess we'll just remain the same.
I like, but I just was curious as to,
Cause I
it
know
was more, I'm always used the laptop in my
but
previous everything. And so
you use that.
Yeah, so
Tim
That's my question.
and Jan are the only ones that don't use don't use the iPad, right?
I
Okay.
use it some.
So some are, you take it to any other meetings?
No,
I so move that we approve the Dell Technologies as the selected vendor for the 25-26 computer workstation replacement project.
here second.
I support
Moved by Steve, supported by Tim to approve Dell Technologies as a selected vendor for the computer workstation replacement.
Do we need to have a roll call on this because of the size of money?
Yes,
Already in the budget. All we're doing is approving to spend money.
Commissioner Bunting,
yes.
Commissioner Gay,
yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
Yes.
Commissioner Bailey, Commissioner Owens.
Yes. Motion carried.
So move that we designate Dell Technologies as a sole source vendor for the workstations purchased for the next 3 years, allowing the county to procure standardized equipment without a competitive bid process to maintain system consistency and compatibility.
thank you.
Oh, sport. I didn't hear a sport.
Really? You did, George?
Yeah.
So I should write down.
Moved by Steve, supported by George to designate Dell Technologies as a sole source vendor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you. I
You
appreciate it.
bet.
Thank you for keeping our stuff up to date and in good shape.
Take 5 here.
You can, if we can get through this and go.
Do we have to vote on this rezoning thing? We talked about it at the beginning, but it's still on the agenda here.
Well, we had a public meeting.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. Had a public meeting.
No one
No
talked.
one made a comment.
Mhm.
But the planning commission gave a
Recommendation.
review and a recommendation. I believe we should vote on that recommendation.
That's why I asked. I think we need to,
And why we're,
because we skipped it. That's why I wanted to get.
yeah, okay. So, I'll make a motion that we go ahead and deny the appeal to the zoning board and side with the planning commission.
Second it.
Moved by George, supported by Jan.
I couldn't hear the end of what you said, though. Can you repeat it?
To deny the zoning request as recommended by the planning commission.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else.
Do we have a second?
I did.
Jen. Yep.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
I
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
I just think that keeps it cleaner. It was on the agenda.
Yeah, it was.
Next up, mayor's defined benefits contribution.
We talked about this a couple different times through the budgeting process. The budget has a arc of 666, the annual required contribution. And we also discussed the $1 million use of fund balance for a payment on the unfunded liability of 5.2 million.
Mhm.
So effectively what we're doing is making an extra year bond payment plus a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't need bond anymore, but
Yeah.
to try to drive that cost.
Try to drive it down.
And the logic here is the treasurer's about 3.75. She advised the rate of return currently may trend lower. MERS has a target of 6.93. You know, they're in the stocks and bonds and they have a humongous portfolio across the state that's invested. More than likely do much better than 3.75. I mean, the market could crash and, but
Woulda, shoulda. I mean, we know that interest rates are gonna continuously go down.
I just had to say that. I mean, it happens. So by doing this initial payment, one lump sum, you're ahead of the curve 12 months here. It all goes in. You have more time to earn on that.
Absolutely.
It does save money.
Yeah, that's.
They have a better rate of return, Jeffrey, because you have to follow the 820.
Right,
You know,
right.
Yeah, that's a whole different,
diversity.
yeah, they're way more diverse with it.
Anyways, this one, if you're comfortable doing that, it was in the budget, the money's in the
Yeah.
budget, but didn't want to say we're gonna pull $1.6 million out of the.
I'll motion. I so move that we authorize a one-time payment in October of 25 of $1,666,552 as currently budgeted in the 25-26 year for the MERS defined benefit program.
Support.
Excuse me. Moved by Steve, seconded by Jan to authorize a one-time payment of $1,666,552 as currently budgeted for the MERS defined benefit program. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Get the swallow when that check goes down.
Want to make a motion to go into airport meeting, Tim? You got to consider, there's consideration of unfinished business. I don't think we have any.
I think we have any.
Go ahead.
Okay, I move that we enter into the airport meet. Dennis?
Or you can just go ahead. I'll just find out. There's someone else.
Dennis?
Okay.
At least you won't have to stare at a hole in the wall.
I need your.
Here you go. You got something out of you.
Well, the airport meeting to order. Any public comment? Managers report.
Well, I sent the report in. I don't know if you
Got
guys have any major questions on it, but probably the biggest thing, September, the weather was pretty good, so we were spending quite a bit of time cleaning up stuff on Eli Highway. If you remember, there's about 3 acres there that we cut a bunch of trees down after COVID there. We pulled the stumps out using an excavator. We had 15 big burn piles there. So we got it down to 8, and then right now the last 2 burn piles were burnt first part of October. So we still got a few stumps to clean up there and move to a different burn pile that we have over on Seaman Road. In those piles, we got 3 big piles that we need to burn this winter when there's snow on the ground. But so we've been doing a lot of stuff outside, trying to get that cleaned up, including rocks and sticks and stuff. So other than that, we had some jet activity in. The numbers there on page 2, gonna go through. We have a number of days that we didn't have any fuel sales. We had 2 days, 3 days actually, and 25. We had 1, 24 where there's no fuel sales. Jet A fuel sales were 2,200 gallons, which is below what it was a year ago. But we already have about 2,200 gallons of Jet A fuel sales already in October, which last year we had about 1,300 gallons. 100 low lead gallons sold was 108 gallons less than last year. October around 1,700 right now, but depending on the weather, so we might be a little bit below going into October. Activity with Jet A, we're down 3 transactions on the Jet A side. And we're 35 ahead on the low side. So I don't know if people have questions regarding any of that stuff. There's some more historical stuff there. last 5 year data that we've collected. Mowing, we're done mowing, did our last mowing here in October. Got cleared up. Everything looks nice out there right now. We'll get a little growth because of the rain. And then I just threw in some pictures of some of the stuff we've been cleaning up there. There's like any fence row, there's a lot of rocks and sticks.
Yes, there is.
So, but we're also working on, there's a 2 acre parcel that we've been mowing, brush hogging once a year. But that could, we're trying to get that back into production so we can actually have them take the grass off each year. And there's a shallow ditch that we're cleaning up. There's a bunch of trees in that and stuff. That's it's a private ditch. It's not very deep. We're going to be hopefully doing more work on that before the weather gets bad. And then at the end of runway 36, there's about 7 acres there that the stumps were pulled about 20 years ago. And we've been mowing it, but it's very rough. So we're working on trying to fill that in so that we can have one of the farmers plant that to grass, and so brush won't be coming back up. But it's very, very rough. So, but I think one of the local farmers that farms some brownie ground there is going to come chisel plow it for us, so we can try to get it leveled off. We've dished it up about 4 times, but it needs a little bit more work to get it to where it is. And chisel plowing will help pull out some of the, the roots and stuff from over the years. So, but it's been mowed for like 20 years, but it's very up and down from the stump setting. So that's kind of what we've been doing there. We also got all the signs up on the hangers. I think there was a picture in there. I was doing that. We actually have a couple more signs put up. One is on Mike Pung's hanger. He's in the process. I think one of the last pictures there, next to last pictures. Page 6 there of the tree removals. He had some trees around his hanger there. I convinced him to get rid of the trees. He's been power washing it, and that hanger is pretty well painted now. So made some quite improvements to it.
Told he's gonna put some metal up on the top there.
Yeah, he's gonna put some metal around the top. He's been working, he hasn't started putting it up, but he's been cutting it and stuff. And we hauled all the trees out of there. We're gonna pull the stumps out.
You said Mike Pong?
Yeah,
Mike Pong, yes.
Hmm?
He's got a hanger on that.
he's had a hanger out there for
Mucho many years.
many years.
Yeah, he said he planted the trees like 40 some years ago. So they're shallow, so it won't take much.
You can imagine, he's 85 years old. He's out there doing it all himself, power washing and painting.
You wouldn't want to pay somebody to do it.
He gets up on a ladder.
He's 80.
I wouldn't do 2 steps on a ladder. Yeah.
He's 85.
Well, it's kind of funny because everybody at the airport that has hangers, they go, well, keep an eye on him every day. I go, well, gee, many Christmas. The minute he's up on the roof, and power washed the roof, and he painted the roof, and he's up on ladders.
But I gotta admit, he does look a lot better.
So, yeah.
Does look a lot, it fits in now where it didn't before.
I have some pictures of it for next month, but he's got it. Oh, he's matched the paint with what we painted with the other hangers.
Mhm.
And he was trimming those trees up and he wanted to leave them. And so I talked to him. I says, what are you doing with these trees? So I'm just going to trim them up and trying to power wash the hanger. And I says, well, you might want to think about just taking them down. And he goes, no, I planted these myself like 40 some years ago. And I says, well, the only thing I want to tell you is one of the guys was last year walking through there and he heard a bunch of noise. He looked up in the trees, and there were like 5 little raccoons running around chasing each other, and one fell out of the tree. And it lay there for a minute and then jumped up, went back up the tree. And I says, they're probably getting in your hanger. He goes, oh, well, I think we need to cut the trees. So he cut them off, and I hauled them away over to a big brush pile we have. and we'll pull the stumps a little bit later here. We had to call, Miss Diggs, so we know where the gas lines are. So. But yeah, we're pretty well wrapped up on, we just gotta move some stumps and stuff that didn't quite burn up. Some of them were 4 times bigger than that thing there. The dirt was off them, but they're pretty wet on the inside still after a few years. So they burned way down and we kept pushing them up for about 3 days in a row. And then it rained, so we'll move them to another pile that will burn this winter. So, other than that,
You want to talk about the asphalt?
yeah, I did have that down as, the asphalt, we were scheduled to redo the taxiways between the T hangars there. It's been on a list of projects for probably 15 years. It's the original asphalt that was put in the 70s, and it's rated the lowest on the point schedule. That gets a report done. And we bid it out in March. We got the low bidder, but we were waiting for federal funding. Federal funding should have come in around June, but we didn't get notice. The funding could have come in. We didn't get notice from the state of Michigan that they processed the paperwork till October 9th. So, so the engineering firm talked to the company, and they won't be able to do it this year. And the engineering firm doesn't really want doing it late October, November, because you just don't get a good.
We don't want them to do it then either.
So now we're looking at probably the late April, May timeframe, might be later than that. So
that's better than doing it now.
Yeah, so anyway, that's gonna be put off to the spring, which, like I said, we've been talking about replacing that for quite a while. Happy lights on the precision lights on runway 7 are working now, but happy lights on runway 9 are not working now. So they're gonna have to come back out. It's not, there was a sensor out for night darkness, but there's something else going on in the system there. So I think in our we're scheduled to redo our lighting. And I think in that lighting plan, the engineering firm said they were going to check that, but I think that's in there to replace our PAPI lights and upgrade them to the newer ones. So the other thing I just make you aware of on October 4th, which is a Thursday, I think, I had a fight.
It's a Tuesday, October 4th.
Oh, I think or Thursday. I don't have my.
November 4th you're talking.
No, October 4th or 6th. It was on a Thursday, 1 a.m., 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, you're talking about, okay. All right.
I got a notification that somebody was in the terminal.
Yeah.
And they were stealing stuff. So I woke up in the middle of the night, phone called 911.
Yeah.
So the 911 thing kind of reminded me of that. But they got in there and took some money out of the thing that we have there for people that want water and stuff. They stole some garbage bags and a case of forks that we have in there, that when we need forks, something's going on. So
Was it locked up?
no, the terminal
Terminal
isn't locked up. It has a keypad thing on it that hasn't worked for a number of years. So there's some things we could probably do. We could put some electronic pads on them that we could unlock it in the morning and night. But we'll investigate that with the advisory group, figure out what we're gonna do. We do have some video of it, they stole my camera. So we got video of them stealing the camera. And we got some picture of one of the individuals. County sheriff has that information. They're supposedly checking through their database.
There's more than one.
Yeah, there's two.
Two persons.
Two persons, yeah. I saw it live, but for whatever reason, when they took the camera, the video got lost, even though it was supposed to be on the cloud, so. So I don't know, maybe they have a little more technical expertise than normal people, but they didn't damage anything. We had a Hawker jet sitting on the runway. Greg Hatcher was in, and I was concerned they might try to do some damage. So I called 911 once I figured out what was going on there. And when that Wednesday, the day before this, the jet came in and they hit a deer on the runway with a jet landing at 8 o'clock at night. Luckily, it wasn't, the doe ran across the runway and the fawn was following, and it was a smaller one. So luckily, it didn't do any damage to the jet. If he would have flown in the other jet, which is lower, CJ4, lower wings, it might have caused more damage or potentially more damage. So, always something. It's fun. So anyway, we did have some, like I said, we had about 2,200 gallons of Jet A sales in October because of some jets coming in for Alma's homecoming and stuff and board meetings and stuff. So anyway,
You killed the fawn.
oh yeah, yeah. It's dead on the runway. So the pilots,
They had to move it off the runway.
What?
They had to move it off the runway.
pilots that landed the airplane moved it off the runway for us, and the FAA called me. So initially they were supposed to be in at 6 o'clock, but they got delayed. And so I was gonna be there at 6 o'clock, but they said, well, they wanted to fill up that night in case they needed to leave earlier. Yeah, but the pilots called and said, hey, don't worry about it. We'll fill up some other time. So I went home, get a call at 8:15 from the FAA because pilots reported it to the FAA and then they call the airport. So, but luckily no damage other than we lost a deer. Oh. So anyway, yeah, well, we have hunters that working on the deer population. So
You can't stop. An airplane can't.
no.
You're not gonna.
He moved over a little bit and missed the mother, but got the little fawn following behind, so. Anyway, we do manage the deer hunting process there too, about stickers. And you're supposed to have it on the vehicles, so we know who's on the property, because it's airport property. You can't be on it without getting permission, so. Anyway, so this time of year, we get some of that stuff, get calls from people that are violating don't have permission. So they might see something big, so they want to go hunt. So, but we got hunters that are what I consider meat eaters. So we'll shoot does and stuff. So try to get the population reduced. The DNR says if we shoot 40% of the does to reduce the population, it stays exactly the same. You got to shoot more than 40%. Yeah. We have 2 does out there that have 5 fawns between the 2 of them. They always go together. So, and they're not very big. So I don't know if they'll survive or not. So anyway, I don't know if there's any other questions. Do you want to go into the financials?
Yeah. Well, we're going to airport financials he was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if there's any questions on that.
No, I looked them over, we're status quo, our fund balance remains the same. So it's status quo as we're going right now.
Yeah, they were gonna make some adjustments, because I think there was about 12 or 13,000 adjustment in the value of our fuel inventory compared to a year ago, higher, so that reduces increases our actual income because it's change of inventory, cost of goods. So I provide all that information to them. So I don't know if this data reflects that. I don't know if they had made that entry or not by then, so. So.
We're good. I think we only,
We're all done?
Okay, I move that we exit the airport meeting and go directly into the finance.
Looking at,
moved by Tim, seconded by Jan, that we exit the airport meeting and go directly into the finance meeting. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Urge.
I'm just getting this brought up here. Okay. We've got, a little more cash, but that's be due to taxes. Everything else is status quo. Everything is tracking normally. Like I say, we always have that, issues at the end of a fiscal year, getting caught up with the bills that haven't been paid and getting the bookwork straight. And usually by October 1, you're out about, your budget's all screwed up anyway. But it's quite a process. And it takes all hands on deck at the end of the year, the fiscal year, to get it all backed up. And I will say there, and it was mentioned a little earlier, we have audits already, so we gotta get ready for those coming up at the first of the year. We have to get ready to have those audits, and so that's gonna be a reason to keep on Mary Ann too, because we got these audits coming up, and of course we've got Todd is gonna be brand new, and so.
I mean, they start coming in right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I mean, it's coming early. I mean, it's already here,
Yeah.
basically. And they start getting the information around, and they usually get a notification from our auditor of what they're gonna need and those types of things. And treasurer's involved in it.
Yeah.
So,
Very stuff right there.
yeah, so it's all good. Is there any questions on that before we move on? We'll go on to the check register then. As we've looked at the check register before, or what, I'll give you a few minutes. If you got any questions, we'll entertain the questions. I didn't see anything that,
I didn't see anything that jumped
jumped
out.
out at me.
Yeah.
It's normal course of business. Give me a minute.
I have a question on the page 3. I see that, there was 50 pails for clients in need. They were $100.
I don't know.
That makes them what, $20 a piece?
$2 a piece.
Oh, that's right. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Did my math wrong.
You happy now? Any other questions, Jan?
Not on that page. I had some other questions here, but I'm just re-looking at these again. On page 5, at the top, you have word appointee fees for $20,000. What is that?
It's probably,
Does she had to pay 20,000?
Catherine Bollinger,
Oh, okay. I have a page to.
she's an attorney and that's, she got me.
indigent defense
We
fund.
paid her 20,000.
We paid her.
You pay, yeah, it's a check register. We pay her. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lawyer.
Well, it cost a bunch to fix the sheriff's car there at Pat's Auto. Wow.
What happened? Did they wreck it or something or?
Well, it was damaged and they repaired it.
Oh, well, that's, if you look at it, it's about every month you get one in there.
It pretty much
Only a month goes by without one of those.
tried twice to get Get
Some cars
300,000.
wreck twice in a month. It's just depend on where the deer population's at.
Yep.
Most of those are all car deer accidents.
We'll just what part of the county and where the deer are at.
That's right. It's an ongoing situation.
Okay, on page 6.
Yeah.
Partway down, we have, oh shoot, I wrote over top of some of my things here. I think it's $9,901.33, but it's for EPS. What is EPS?
Electronic protection system.
So these cameras and the security system,
Okay.
panic buttons. at the
Yeah, they just-
door, all this, right? Is it
Last month, we,
EPS is just the key card access part?
card access, yeah. Remember, we did a lot of work last month.
I think it's all good to go now, right?
Another one on page 7, it's C3.
What's that?
It's VC3.
That's your IT stuff.
That's IT.
Yep.
Well, that's expensive, 24,000.
Yeah. That it? Anything else, Jan?
Just a minute here, I'm just going down through here real quick. Yeah, on page 8. I see that we were paying Spicers a lot of money. Is that for the same thing?
Commissioner,
Huh?
Rain Commissioner.
That's what that's for, okay. Well, that's a lot of money, isn't it?
Well, he uses that exclusively for all the engineering of all the different drains he's got. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of money.
More, so it's more than just one thing.
Oh, comes, yes. A lot of things. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and he got hundreds of them. So. Yeah,
Usually if it says engineering, it's the drain commissioner. Like when they're doing work, like right now, they're doing that study for the jail. I think if I remember right, it's worded differently, but all the engineering ones seem to always be from, because I've asked about them in the past, it's always the drain commissioner.
Always puts in their description.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. We sure spent a lot of money, $4 million.
like I said before, if you divide it out with the number of working days a year, it's over $60,000 a day. That's how much money we spent.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is September revenue and expenditure. And that's just a whole bunch of numbers in and numbers out. That usually is counterbalanced by the check register. That's what you usually get that, and all these numbers go into the check register. For the outlets anyway.
The main thing is we don't spend more than take.
Well, that's true, that is true. You never want to spend more than we take in.
Ryan, this will adjust though, where it says percent of the budget used. Like if you go just the top line, what our total revenue was. But we're not gonna end up with what that number says there. It'll end up because of things that trickle in, correct?
Well, you'll see different numbers. If you see one that says 100% already, it's because the bill is due. We paid the whole thing.
Yeah, I understand that. I know we're gonna have some left over. We didn't spend our entire budget.
Oh, you're not, yeah.
I'm just curious, it's gonna end up being less than 85.33, I'm sure at the end.
Well, it will be. It will be.
I would expect that to be true, yes.
It normally is every year.
Because stuff.
Our budget, we always plan the budget and maybe a little bit more than we may spend, just to make sure we can balance with the revenue. We don't want to be too far out of balance between the revenue and expenditures. And we want more revenue. Actually, you're trying to get more revenue than expenditures.
Yeah, but all this is before the year end accrual, so.
Yeah, that's,
Right.
well, it'll accrual, so.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I never can understand government financing because
Yeah.
or because it's the accruals that are put in there and I get, Becky's tried to explain it to me and it goes right over the top of my head. It's one of those things that I just never gonna get. But that's what, I understand it's gotta be done, but I just, I would hate to have myself keep track of it. All right, if we're done with that, I should ask the treasurer to come up. A little report for us.
Hello.
Oh,
My reports are the same, nothing new, nothing new that you haven't seen before. The investments are hanging pretty tough. Next month, of course, they're gonna be a little bit down after we take that 1,700,000 out and put it toward MERS. You can expect these numbers to go down because when that number goes down, these numbers go down.
We owe them just one more payment too, right?
That's it.
For the bond.
This is it, the one that we just approved.
One that, yeah,
That's what that is?
That's plus $1 million. The
Well, the bond was paid last year. 665 is the active or ongoing annual.
Yeah,
Then it's an
Payment.
I have a sheet where it tells like every time we make a payment. It still said that we had one more and, oh, it would be one more next year. I'm sorry. But we're gonna pay that off.
right.
yes, that's exactly right.
And that's what, when he's paying this money to MERS,
Pay another.
it reduced what we're gonna have to pay at the end on that note.
Yeah.
Reduce that.
That's it. No, that is just it. And then the million, the payment, and then the million is gonna reduce what we have to pay.
funded liability.
Yes. There's two parts to that. Mhm.
Yeah, so,
Well, you have an ARC,
Mhm.
annual required contribution. You only have 10 active employees now.
Yep.
So there's all that, most of what that ARC is, the 10 active employees that are still getting the defined benefit
Yep,
and the cost of all the people retired.
all the people that retired, yep.
That you still owe money to. There's the unfunded liability, there's $5 million, 5.5. Throw an extra million in and reduce that thing. This year, from last year to the year we're in now, the ARC went up $169,000.
Mhm.
Because market returns, assumption changes and whatever. So the goal is to
Drop that.
get your ahead of the game here and avoid that fluctuation. It's like health insurance, this thing's jumping up. If you can get close to 100% or just above,
Mhm.
if you're only just paying for 10 employees here, you won't be paying much.
Mhm.
Right.
So just to get some stability here, it'll help a great deal. You can get rid of the $865,000. It'll
Yeah,
be about.
that million will cut that down. And the 700,000 will be for that final payment. So, yeah,
it'll help just reduce the whole total overall,
it will.
that we have to contribute anyway.
Yep. Less interest actually we're paying, if we can reduce that total amount, that whole dollar.
So when are we paying this? Like right now? Is that what you're?
And this next,
In October. Mhm.
this month, before the end of the month. The checks are kind of at the end of the month, this is when that's gonna go out to them.
Okay.
So next finance meeting, you'll see it show
We'll
up.
be making monthly installments. We'll just throwing the money all in up front.
That is good.
Any other questions about any of my usual reports or the investments?
Investments are what the investments are, it's just one of those, and we're seeing it go down,
A little bit,
not bad.
not bad, really, not bad.
I thought it would read like 3.5 by now.
Nope, not yet.
We got one more rate cut before the end of the year,
Mhm.
and then we'll see something really move, I think.
Yeah. And like what I said with that million going out of the,
Right, well, and that's gonna cut back here too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like Ryan explained before, we're getting 3.5% now. But we get 6% over on the mirror side of it, so we gain 3%.
Yep,
That's the money game we're playing right now.
Yep, 3.75 is what we're getting, where it is right now, but they've got a lot more flexibility and a lot more places to put it. Oh,
And they might,
it's a good idea.
5, or they might earn 10 or 12.
Well,
Who knows, MERS, I'm talking.
but your chances of making a lot more than 3.5 are about 100%.
Yeah.
At least on some of them, because they're so diversified. They're a lot, they have that flexibility.
Yes.
So,
So good.
mhm.
Okay. All right,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Terry.
thank
You
you.
want us to bring us back out of the closed session or out of the finance meeting, Tim?
Yeah, I move that we go out of the finance meeting to the, regular meeting.
Purpose of?
Paying the bill.
There you go.
There you go.
If it fell off your desk, it must be more.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's no second.
Oh, yeah, Janice supported that. Didn't think about it.
Moved by Tim, supported by Jan, that we exit the finance meeting with the purpose of paying the bills. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Adjourned at 6:36.
Any public comment?
I have a motion. Did I do that already?
No, you did fine.
All the chair.
Okay, I motion to adjourn.
I'll move.